Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shija. Remember, recover, return. Ja people. Shija. Maria. Marira. Nya. Maria. The she lion. Remember, people, who you are. Because you're in a game. And if you're like us, you want out of this world and all its problems. Never have I ever, in the 13 years, hundreds of hours in rituals with Our Lady of the River, our flowing mother, Miss Missouri. Put her head on my shoulder and said, Earth gives me a headache. Hail to you, Maria. Thank you. Big respect to you for your art, your creativity, your entertaining spirit, your authenticity. Yes, thank you. And to the one big Lou is. Thank you also. And, of course, big respect and love to Big Lou, who is a giant from India. Sounds funny. Giant. He's a big man. Very simply, him and his whole world of people drove themselves to destruction and nearly ruined the earth forever. And from another parallel universe, another plane of existence, they treated Mother Earth and brought her back good enough for mankind to be restarted, genetically modified, and the process began again. The natural process of natural birth. And that is why the real church, the real Christian church, is called the Process Church of the Final Judgment. Because these people have brought about what they prophesied, that America would usher in this rotten, deceitful. Here's America in 2024. Children in the future. The common man in America is in his prefab bullshit house that he worked his whole life for, his expensive car he drove home in, and he's chanting, "Give me convenience or give me death." and his ancestors are turning in shame and saying, where are your principles? You are a woman, a fake woman, man who lives and is controlled by your own fickle feelings. And the old world god named Shiva is coming to destroy you because the magicians used your image for the world to reflect back to them. A meaningless, hopeless, godless. You say the gods to an American, and they laugh in your face as if you're the fool. Plato, Socrates, Aristotle. And start to talk about their dog, their god, their best friend that favors them and hates the Muslims. Right. Alt-right. Alt-right. Because you're a bunch of fags. And I don't mean any disrespect to true homosexuals. I send out all my love to you. And to everyone who's authentic. But I must say, our cast, Maria, Orsic, and I, we really believe it is just not even right to discuss your private life with strangers. No, that is to be kept esoteric. And to our friends back home, we miss you. And to the listener, I want your dreams to come true. And I have hopes of helping each one of you as directed by Maria. And today's rune is Thor himself, whom Maria Orsic said in her day, Mr. Hess, Father Addie's best friend, was her Thor. And our love in tears, goes out to our brother Hess. And we long to be in your presence again. And hail to Jason and Hela, the other old world gods who live among you. And you should pray to. Let me give you a little Maria. Way when I didn't know anything, I couldn't remember anything. She said, hey, let me give you a little advice. You remember how you were dedicated to praying to Yahweh. She said, that same, tone and that same respectful asking for help, you should pray to yourself, to your true self. And she was like, also, know for a fact that I'm helping you and you won't get out of here without my help. And you're no exception. No one that came here for the same reasons you did is getting out of here without the direct help of the gods. And that brings me to the art of Lord Shiva, Lord Lucifer. In our homeland of Ireland, Iceland, Hyperborea, he was known as Odin, Wotan, even Vishnu and Krishna. But in this day, from now on, he will be known as Alla, Yahweh. And the art of Yahweh. I will go in reverse. I believe it was in November, a month or so after Al-Aqsa flood and the war in Gaza, the genocide of the defenseless began. I seen Mother crying, and she said, I've been helping everyone I can. She likes to call it the land of cannabis. Cannabis. Lose pale skin Indians. And believe me, don't tell me Palestinians are Arabs. I don't listen to you, nor do I get my information from an illusion. How does what you're looking at make sense, and how are you comfortable with it not making sense? What is the explanation? If source is out there, why doesn't source do something? For babies with tumors in their head, for children that the Israeli army took their feeding tubes out of and left them alone in beds to die of dehydration. Where was Source? Where was the Great Spirit? I can tell you where Maria was. And I drank the tea and I flew out of my body. And there I was standing with the little blonde lady with a tear in her eye, and she didn't want to look at me. I think she was a little embarrassed, like I am when I get emotional, because that's not how to get out of here. And if you like it here, tune in, drop out of our podcast, because you have to be insane. And later, Maria told me that it was Lou who arranged this meeting. And I walked to Maria, and there was a obvious Muslim woman standing next to her in her mid-20s. And she looked very confused. She looked like she was in shock. And as me and Maria walked up to her, Maria said to me, her and her whole family were instantly killed, burned to death. And she said, the details are too horrific, Joe. I just want to see what will happen if, us three come together. So I stood there, and Maria, in Arabic, said to her, she was speaking Arabic, but I could understand her telepathically. She said, "This is a healer who works with me. He is also my student and my son, and I trust him." And she said, "He knows nothing about what happened to you except what I just told him, that you and your whole family were killed, including your 3 children." And she said, he's an American, and he's never agreed that Muslims are responsible for any of America's problems. And he is my student who fully knows who are the terrorists, the United States military. Like she said, it was a United States military industrial complex missile that killed your whole family, paid for by the American taxpayers. And she said, I just want to know why. I just want to know why. And the taxpayers of America wanted this or allowed I don't understand what we did to you. She said, everyone knows that we're fighting with these people who came from afar and took our land and our houses. And I want you to get the full right wing. I'm neither left nor right, but I want to expose the Trump people in the right wing, right? Their number one thing is the immigrants that are coming to America and taking our country. The immigrants. And remember that it was immigrants that came and took the Palestinians' land, took their country, and brought in a new culture that is totally racist because they believe source, creator, God of all things, the God of all everything, chose them personally because of their ancestors, but we're not allowed to even discuss what our pagan ancestors believed, right? Because in the Christian church, they dismiss all of our ancestors. In one sentence, they were all devil worshippers, sacrificing children, fucking everybody. They just had big orgies and ate their children. And then they got their children dressed, took them to church, ate mock human flesh, drank mock human blood, and sat in front of a son who was murdered by his father, sacrificed by his father. And they say, yeah, remember your ancestors were very, very evil, twisted people. These whites, these Celts, these Nords, these Icelandic, green-eyed devils. I mean, it just never ends. And the short-sightedness of the American middle-class Christian is so disgusting that the astral missiles have already been launched. There's no repenting now, motherfuckers. You're gonna pay. And as the Muslim woman looked me directly in the eyes and said, why? And I said, they don't care about you. They have no feeling. They don't give a damn about Palestinians. They act like the Palestinians are the rival football team and their beloved Jewish Torahs, the Jewish Torahs running out with their I said, for real, they don't care. I said, sister, there's millions of people sitting in American prisons who are falsely accused because the police did not care who really did it. And they were just doing their job and fulfilling the quota of, hey, you got to blame someone. That's America mirrored, polarized, multiplying. Here's America. Fuck all. Just give me the money. Give me the convenience. Give me the nice car and the nice house and what I want. I don't care about truth. As the truthers chanted, 9/11 was an inside job. 9/11 was an inside job. The convenience or death people said, shut up, you conspiracy theorist. Shut up. The CIA's just dumb. just like Trump's security, just dumb. We fucked up again. We fucked up. Nobody gets fired, though. No one gets fired. I mean, 30 years ago, I was done with people who believed Oklahoma City, JFK was good. I mean, I'm not trying to change your mind. I don't want to. I wouldn't want to. Let the boring stay boring still. And let the vril be full of vril still. And she said to me with no emotion, she accepted my answer as truth. Our eyes were locked. And she said to me, telepathically, you're telling me your honest opinion. I told her I work in the public for 25 years, 30 years. I know tens of thousands of people personally. I've been all over the country, I guess almost every state. I've played hundreds of concerts, mostly when I was young. But just to say, I was at one time in touch. And America, in the 80s and early 90s, it just was disgracefully boring to say, I support the war in Iraq. I support that Desert Storm. That Saddam was trying to go into Kuwait. And people that I knew were like, who wait? Who's waiting? Kuwait. Like, what's that? That's a country you're going to fight for. You're going to die for. And, we kill 2 million and lose 4,000, and Americans are like, yo. America, unspeakably blind in their own sports mentality, arrogance. We're number one. And she said, if it was up to you, they took your money against your will to kill me and my children. She said, what if Alla was here? And I almost said to her, he is here. Even though I had no idea that Lou is Allah. Although I don't know. It's all in your memory, which is you as soon as you accept it. When you stop believing that you're your 5 senses, your body, and all the blah, blah, blah. What are you really? I mean, what? Okay, everything's energy. What are you? I mean, you're not a fucking ant. You're not a monkey. What are you? You're a man or a woman? What is that? What is that energy? What does that reduce to? Well, we say thought and memory. Memory is the foundation of eternal return, and thought is memory in motion. Thought is light. Memory is the sun. Thought is its rays. And you are eternal. You've always existed Whether you're good, bad, or the masses, you've always existed. And technology is blocking your memory. And I challenge you to pray every day to yourself to remember, recover, return. And, as they would say, let us know in the comments 10 years from now what happened. Hail, Mother. And the Muslim woman who suffered so much for what do we get? Hey, comrades, Americans, what did we get from 2.5 million dead Iraqis? Throw in there another 1.2 million Afghanis. What did you get? You paid for it. You paid to kill them. They took your money. I never heard anyone around me personally object to it. Maybe because they would be agreeing with me, which would be giving up their individuality and identity. And I'm being sarcastic. But true. Me and Lou talked about this. The principle of someone doing wrong to be an individual, to prove their individuality. They're going to disagree with good. And may a curse be on you. May that wretched, dark energy be on the person that thinks that way. How dare you? So I took a moment and I thought about Maria saying, you're in the truth chamber. I thought, man, you really are brilliant, Maria, to take me to this lady because by my astrology how fair I am. And I said to her, how many children died? She said 3. I said, and your husband? Yes. And she said, and my aunt and my cousin and my niece. I said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And may Allah enforce that. And when I said Allah, I went into another world. And I was standing before an invisible giant that I know now is Lou. And I had an idea that this could be the fairy giant from my backyard that lives in the tree. Because he loves the Missouri River and its goddess, his princess, who flips lives, switches bodies with his ultra beautiful wife, the brilliant, intelligent, beyond creative, and very funny, Queen Diana Donna Shakti Parvati. Hail to you, Queen Donna, and thank you, Donna. And he said to me, I heard all your prayers, all of them. No, I'm not God. And we laughed because I hope each one of you experienced this like telepathic communication because it can be very funny and comedic because when you know someone can hear your thoughts, the relatability goes up. I mean, it's very special. It's for me. It's each week each ritual is well worth any price that I had to pay. I just could go on. I will. I'll just tell you one experience from last weekend. Just the spontaneity of these creative people. This is why they're gods, because they're so creative, because they put up the goods. They deliver the goods. They are prepared. They are refined in their art. It's precise. The notes are right on, spot on. The tuning is perfect. And in these last rituals, since 5/5, Maria has been taking me each week to a space, a land, a frequency, a vibration, commonly known in our circles as the eternal orgasm. And it is the ultra creative art of certain people to take people to these worlds that are frozen ice, cold ice, frozen moments of sunlight burst of eternal orgasm, of orgasms. And like she said, we ride the wave of the orgasm to our own. And it's totally makes sense to me that if you had the power, which you do and I do, and this is what we do when we back home, and this is why our lives back home center around our sex magic, our magic sex practices, our practice of magic. What do? We practice magic. What does that really mean? It means literally combining, uniting multiple orgasms from different people, from individual people, in a single moment as a rocket to a space that vibrates continually with that frequency that was achieved by the people experiencing the orgasm. You understand? At the height of the orgasm, it's like conscious. You become completely conscious of all the pleasure and say, stop. Freeze this. Stop this and create a space to stay in. This is a vacation. Like that. That's what Maria said to me. This is what I call a vacation. And the worlds that they create are unbelievable. And if there was peace, love, and harmony in the future, that makes sense to me. And what other people say does not. I've never heard anyone who makes sense to me like Maria. The context is always aliens or something and another of a that's hidden but there's never a good explanation why. What is the meaning? What was the purpose? And I am not wondering or asking if we're in a simulation. It was completely, totally proven to me, and is proven to me hundreds of times by Maria predicting the future for me personally. And Lou, too, since 5-5, keeps doing it over and over. And his whole thing is, I'm just showing you I really am who I am, and I know what's going to happen, even though you don't. And in this frequency of the eternal orgasm, I maybe foolishly began to like call on someone, and hilariously the person was offended with what me and Maria used as the thought. This wonderful, beautiful woman named Tammy and her beautiful, beautiful, real magician mother, Cindy. Heil to you both. And as I started to come back to the earth, this woman was like, jokingly, how dare you think about her? I told you I hate her. And it was like shaking my reality, because it was kind of like it was like kind of a contradiction. And I was like, I know you're joking, but it doesn't feel like you're joking. And for real, if you're not joking, like Maria, this is Maria. Like, don't, like I was trying to warn her. Like, this isn't my opinion. I didn't choose that. That was Maria's choice. Which is funny. It's just so funny. And it started to like bother me or like perplex me, And I actually stood up and started and they've been making, Lou, Donna, and Maria have been making fun of me and laughing at me since 5 because I start thinking and walk away from them. And they're like, yeah, we're not important. Go ahead, walk away. And it's funny. And I heard Lou in our magic parts of the ritual. Lou sits in the lotus position with his eyes closed. I've never seen him move or open his eyes. But like this night, I heard his voice in my head, and he said, "Hey, Jojo, where you going?" I said, I didn't even know I stood up. He goes, I know, that's what's funny. That's why I said it. He said, hey, check this out. Come back down here and lay down by Maria. I did. He goes, check this out. And he touched the middle of my forehead, my third eye. And I'm not kidding. I busted out laughing like I was at George Carlin's show. I heard the funniest joke ever. And I just was and I kind of calmed myself down a little. And I was trying to I was laughing so hard, I was trying to telepathically say to him, like, how do you do that shit? What the? And he heard my thoughts, and he said, by communicating with your true self. I was like, wow, that's cool. And everything he would say, I'd start laughing. And as when I was laughing, he said to me, now, Jojo, real calmly, he said to me, now, Jojo, what are you laughing at, though? I said, Lou, how's this possible? Nothing. Laughing. I said, matter of fact, nothing is funny. He goes, yeah, but it's a video game. Me and you both know that. And we both get caught up in it. He said, me more than you. I'm here all the time, Joe. He said, you know you're going to go home? You remember when I kept saying to you, will you agree to come back? Listen, Joe, I can't go back home. Ever. My home is my own. Those spaces like we just visited. Me and Don have been doing that for eternity. He said, you remember I said, will you come back? I bet I can get the girl to come back. The girl with the tulip. And you can live in the mountains. You don't have to ever come down. You can live here on earth just to hang out with me and Donna and Jason and Maria and Alla and Addie and all the people that come visit us. Remember what you said? I said, I'll do anything you say. I'll absolutely. I would be honored. He said, you do know you're going to have to die again. You know, you'll be in the simulated eternal return, but you'll be with me, and it's not going to repeat like it did in this struggle. I said, no problem. I agree. He said, you sure? I said, I do. He said, what if the girl won't come? I said, I still agree. I love you. I really do. And he said to me, do you remember this dream I gave you? I want you to teach the book of Revelation. And it was me, Joe, that gave you this dream in 2003. And this was when I was a Christian. I had this experience. And one day I will timeline, organize everything up and show you what a genius Lou and Maria are. Genius artists to create these dreams and visions for a foreseen, far-sighted day when it would be revealed the purpose and meaning of the dreams. And our whole cast can read the story and take a step back and say, wow, Maria, you're wild. That's good stuff. And Lou also, because this is, I never, I thought, listen, truly, I was this naive and dumb. I thought God, Yahweh, the God of the Bible, Yahweh, Jesus Christ, as a Christian, I believed he was giving me these dreams, right? And 21 years later, 777, I met the man who gave me the dreams. And he had to create them by concentration, meditation, visualization, and overall, it came from his imagination. This dream and it's very short. It's just it's a, well, I can't find the word. Here it goes. Okay, I was a Christian. I was very desperate for help. I just felt like I was allergic to the world. I was very sick. No one knew exactly what was wrong with me. And I was seeking and searching as hard as I could for the miraculous. And I would sit in bed at night and read the Bible. And this night I was reading the book of Revelation. I'm sitting in the bed, reading the book of Revelation. And as I am reading, right in the middle of like a paragraph, I was getting very tired, right? And I'm reading, and I like instantly fell asleep, which is very odd for me because I'm a person, it's hard to fall asleep for me sometimes, most of the time. It's never been easy. And so, this goes against all the norms. And this is how they work the art so that you will, get all the clues that this isn't because you ate pizza. Every time you have a crazy dream, people are like, oh, that's because of what you ate the night before. And as I was reading, I instantly fell asleep and started dreaming. But in the dream, I was laying in bed like I was reading the Bible and drifted off and thought I woke up in the dream, right? So in the dream, I thought I fell asleep reading the Bible and started dreaming. And I just was like, oh, I dozed off. I looked back down at my Bible and the whole thing, every single marking on it was in a different language. And I was like, what? What the fuck? Because I thought that I just woke up from a dream. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what the fuck? Where'd this come from? And right as I was freaking out, looking at it, and my hands started shaking and shit, out of the corner of my eye, I seen a man who was as tall as up to the ceiling. Like a clear outline of like an energy man. It was all the way up to the ceiling and just huge, standing right next to me. It scared me so bad I threw the Bible in the dream. I threw the Bible up in the air But I really was sleeping, and in reality, I woke up out of the dream with the Bible in the air, and as I woke up, the Bible smacked me in the face.